The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more into the breach we go, dear friends. And printing off here at 2098 points and 9 points higher on the S&P cash. We got another 7 points higher than that, pretty much at the open. 2.4 billion shares. So volume is pretty good for what has been a extremely narrow and light trading. Very little movement out here. But it is expiration day. And I don't know what else you can say about it other than that. It is expiration day. And as always, expect the unexpected when you least expect it. And why I put one trade on this morning. And I don't know if it's going to pay off. Probably not. Actually, probably a good probability it's not. But, you can get such huge movements out of these days. And normally you have a Thursday like yesterday with light volatility or lighter volatility. You get the opposite here today. Now, I would not be surprised to close down 10 points overall on the day. The setup is really weird coming into this expiration. So I could see us closing at something like 2080 or 2070 and would not be surprised. It would not be without the scope of reason. We've slowly been selling off all day long. And I could see, it just takes one big hiccup to get this market going. They've slowly been moving back. And one of the more interesting stocks for options expiration in my work on it has been Apple. Apple looks like the gravity point would be to 117.50. And I'm not of the camp that Apple is going significantly lower before the first of the year. In fact, I think we can make a pretty good case that we're going to have a slight bias to the upside into the end of the year, but most of the profits are probably pretty much done. I can say that we'll probably have a little bit of bounce. Thanksgiving numbers are going to come in light. We're going to come back, probably sell off a little bit. And, maybe some rearranging of the deck chairs could make some stocks go higher. My guess is, though, that the FANG stocks will get all the love going into the end of the year for one reason only, and that's because a bunch of people are probably going to be short them. The volume will go light, and they will push them up, and they will push the indexes up too, but it will not push them up that much higher. It's going to be sedate and slow. I suspect that what we had that was over probably on Monday was tax selling for the year. Just looking at the volumes coming in now with the lack of selling into them makes me think that most of these hedge funds that needed to raise cash that most of the people that had stinky stocks, which are a bunch of them, and a few of them continuing, will continue down. But the tax selling reason is probably over. I see a bunch of stocks at lows getting very little or if any energy to the downside. And even though the market may pull back, these stocks may rally. And just throw everybody a deal. But what can you say? See, the producer chose music I liked it today. Yes, I had to throw the gauntlet down, I did, to get some decent music here before the show, at least in the Tiger's Den. What else do we have? It says he lost my video. Where did he lose it? Certainly did. I don't know why. Should be back now. Seeing a Kohl's ad. And he says it's bluish. And I am blue. Something reset here. We'll try to figure this out as we go along. Yeah. The whole thing reset. I don't know what's going on here. And that should be back to normal. Hopefully that's it. Anyway, we've got, I have been a little down, a little blue. Anyway, as we look at the market, like I said, the volume pretty good for an expiration day. Normally it's a little down. We could rip down 10, 20 points in the S&P before the close. It would not surprise me. Does it mean that we will? The answer is no. But again, this is expiration day. And this is, I guess, exactly what you're looking at, which is expect the unexpected. And it could rip 20 points higher, too. Anyway, I guess it's time to get this party started.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1991, Cascade International, a fashion chain near the top of Business Week's 1990 list of hot growth companies, announces that its chairman, Victor Incendiary, has disappeared, along with more than 200 of Cascade stores. Incendiary had claimed the Cascade had between 255 and 400 outlets, but in reality, there are fewer than 30. The company had reported earnings of $11 million the previous year. It actually had lost $7 million at its peak price of $11.62 in August. Cascade stock had been valued around $200 million. Less than a year later, the incredible disappearing company store are sold off for a mere $370,000. Incendiary has never been found and remains an international fugitive. He, of course, took off and left his wife holding the bag. Can you imagine what kind of guys this is? Guys? What kind of guy this guy was? Anyway, they've never found him. But it seems like Palm Beach is like ground zero for fraud in the great state of Florida. And I've never quite understood why fraud is so easy to get by. But it certainly is, especially if you're anywhere around Palm Beach. It is it. Incendiary, yeah. I keep on wanting to call him that. Incendiary. But they continue, the FBI continues to look for him, and they've never found him. But apparently he had taken off with a huge amount of cash and left everybody, his bookkeeper and his wife and everybody else that was involved in the fraud with it. But like I said, there's nothing new under the sun. And we always have to be well aware that anybody could do this. But the reason I brought this up was I saw that Vips stores was higher today because some nebulous company somewhere said that they were buying them. I've never heard of the company, or they were buying 10% of it or something like that. But it had popped up. And we talked about this 2 months ago or 3 months ago, and then we talked about it again this week when it took the nasty hit it did. Is it VIP or VIPs? Yeah, it's VIPS, isn't it? VIP shops? Yeah, that's it. And it's up 12%, up $2 after getting waylaid for a while. And, of course, this is a target, a perennial target of the people who point to the issues in China. But this is the same thing. Those VIP stores basically said they had a bunch of stores and they didn't have any of them. And nobody prosecuting them. Nothing's happened. Nobody's gone to jail. And I continue to warn about China stocks. One day we're going to wake up and find out that 100 or 200 of these stocks are just like Cascade. Apple and women. Jimmy Iovine said in an interview last night or yesterday, I always knew that women, some women at times, find it difficult to find music. And apparently everybody took it in the most condescending and horrible way. He, I think, probably would have rather said that women probably spend less time looking for music and that they are more inclined to use playlists curated by real people and not algorithms alone. But he didn't say it that way. And, of course, in the politically correct world that we live in, everybody had to hop on him. I think that there's 1,000 reasons to hop on him, and I think he's a toad. But probably just a lot of, it's the same kind of jackasses that whenever you say something like the unpejorative they or something, you always have to say he and she and put it back in there, like and horrible people that always correct you, the politically correct guys. And that's why I like South Park this season. It has been a haven of sanity in a world that's it. Now, of course, if you want any hate speech, and we have some women out there calling, and you want to call in and yell, you can always call in at 877-927-6648. And our call screener's been putting horrible things in my IM, so give him an earful before you talk to me. Well, in California, you probably wouldn't get a date, but I think in Florida, no one here would bat an eye at that statement. But they're trying to export their super sensitive, touchy-feely stuff here to Florida. We don't cotton to that at all. But I thought it was kind of funny. The politically correct eating the politically correct. But I can think of a lot of other reasons. He was on American Idol for a couple of seasons, and the people that actually ignored everything he said pretty much went on to win. They were who they were, and didn't decide to start putting on Michael Jackson outfits to win the vote. But we shall see. Tesla had a nice little move out here. Started off at 225, went to 215, backed up to 220 last time I looked. Let's take another quick look at this. Where is the one and only Tesla? 218 now. So it's off $4 today, but did open up higher. Oh, somebody asked me what the call screener said, and it had something to do with women drivers. So give them an earful. Anyway, Tesla had one car. I'm not a big defender of Tesla. Oh, did you see the Big Bang Theory? Elon Musk was helping in a soup kitchen on Thanksgiving in the episode last night. But I have to say that he should stick to his day job, because I didn't come over him with a feeling that he was being himself. He was not a good actor, let me put it that way. But kind of interesting to see that show bring so many of the people from the NASDAQ top 20 into its television shows. And, of course, it's had a whole bunch of people on it. Anyway, I'm going to defend him after we come back, but it looks to me like another ham sandwich, which is everybody just ultra worried about everything these days. I can think of a lot of things to worry about in Tesla. The seatbelt issue is not one of them.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crisp crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And question, where do you get the 2080 figure? You mentioned 2070, 2080. It is on the options expiration chart. Normally, we've got options are just showing that they should be much, much lower for this expiration. And 80% of the time, 85% of the time, they are right. But doesn't mean that they always work. But probably, you know, I'm just saying if there's going to be a surprise, I would not be surprised today because options are all saying that by the close of day today, the S&P should be lower, not higher. Option market makers are not always correct, but boy, do they tend to be 80% correct. So maybe this is the other 20. Anyway, it did point to a much higher close this week than earlier in the week, and that's why I wasn't very bearish down there at 2020. But I'm also not very bullish up here at 2090. So I just think we're going to pull back a little bit. Now, of course, next week we go into Thanksgiving. Monday and Tuesday are options rollover days. Of course, we get into Wednesday and Thanksgiving on Thursday and a day. I will be out Wednesday and we'll be back on Monday. So there won't be a lot going on for me. But again, won't be a lot going on for anybody next week. So I'll be working pretty hard. My last show of the week, of course, will be Tuesday next week. TFNN is closed on Friday anyway. So it's a good time for me to go. I'm going to go to Southwest Florida for some sailing, much needed R&R, and get ready and get ready for my big vacation, which is I think the 18th of December through the end of the year. Normally, I like to take my vacation when there's nothing going to be going on anyway in the markets. We were talking about Tesla when I left. Tesla is recalling its entire fleet to check for front seat belts. There is a little clip that holds the wire that fires a solenoid that holds the seat belt in case it feels a shock in the car. And that little clip apparently was not up to snuff, and they're checking these, and that was about the extent of all of it. But to see, Tesla, at least the underlying part of Tesla, you going out to the Keys? Yes. But we are going to be leaving from, I think, Siesta Key. I think that's it. I can't remember now. I didn't plan it. My nephew did. So we're going to go do some sailing. And I'm just along for the ride and to teach him how to sail. So we'll find out what happens. Anyway, what else do we have? Oh, I've lost my train of thought. Anyway, very weird to see Tesla on an expiration day move this much. Got up to 1225, almost at the open. It's now down about 4 points. Got down as low as 213.58. Everybody was expecting some huge problem. When the news actually did come out, it was a lot less painful. Kind of reminds me of the issue with GNC this week, where yet another company in Boca is up for fraud. And they sold the supplement was the problem with GNC. That thing was off, what, 20 or 25% during the day, ended up being down just a buck or two. Tesla is not getting a lot of this back today. It still looks to me like Tesla could get down to about 190, 185, certainly in that move before, but it's going to be very hard between now and Christmas. Just very interesting to see that it doesn't take much in the way of a boo to scare anybody in Wall Street for these stocks that don't make any money, and Tesla is on a path to making money in maybe 10 years. The question is, or at least my thought is, that while Amazon will be able to get away with it, it is a whole lot different with Tesla. And I guess it's the Ferris Bueller's thing. If you remember Ferris Bueller, right? Who's the... I guess it's its sister talking to Sheen. And they're in the police office. And he finally starts talking to her, and he is, so your real problem is that your brother does, skip school, and he gets away with it, and you don't. And she says, yeah. But Charlie Sheen, yeah. Good sign. A good part in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I think that's a great deal of it. It's a lot of people think that they can get away with it too. And sometimes you're just not Ferris Bueller. But I have a feeling Tesla and Mr. Musk is not Ferris Bueller. We'll be back in a minute.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
I had a question in the den where I got my number from, and it's just the kind of a educated guess. The options, I mean, there is a ton of money that's been made in the options in the SPYs this month on calls, and normally that just does not last into expiration. Normally you get back somewhere in the middle, and normally what I will do is I'll pick a number somewhere between the current price and about halfway to the crossover point, which would be 203. So, you know, this late in the day, probably not going to see a huge move, but that's why I was going to say I could see a decent move back in. And yeah, I had a small bet out here that the Fed or somebody in the Fed would say something horrible and the market would pull back at least maybe a couple of days worth. But no such luck, although we are slowly, I mean, ever so slowly ticking back down. We'll have to see whether or not we get any volume close to the end of the day. But for months, or I mean, for years, probably 2004, 5, 6, probably all the way into 2008, you could trade on expiration day, and it was wild all the way to the close. And now sometimes we still get that last 30 minutes where a lot of things happen, and maybe we'll see that today. But you never know. They're trying to keep this thing rather quiet, and it just seems after yesterday that we'll probably need a little bit of a pullback. If we don't get it today, my guess is we will get it on Monday and Tuesday. YouTube is also in the news today. It's been in the battleground for some major copyright case law. And there's a lot of people that are just randomly out there saying that that content on one of the YouTube channels or something that someone uploads is theirs. Many times it's correct, but many times people have been using this just to harass other folks. And YouTube is now going to go after those people that have been just annoying other people without any legal basis. And they're going to start covering future legal costs for its creators. And I don't know if that means me, but it does mean some people. And we'll see how that works. Anyway, that's about it for tech news. It's been an incredibly light week for that. We're going to get to stocks that have been moving out here today. And we'll look at Tesla here first. TSLA, and then we'll get into stocks that moved on earnings and news and take a look at them. But I have to say, I put it in my newsletter this morning. I've never worked harder, maybe it was yesterday, I've never worked harder to find one decent trade out here, and there just wasn't anything to really say a lot about what was going on here. I've got to get something else set up here. See if that's it. Yep, I got it now. Okay. Anyway, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648, and you can also email me at path@tfnn.com. And got a question, is oil making a bottom here? We'll get to that. And I say, I thought maybe Wednesday the numbers would come in and that would be it, but I don't think that there is that. We'll look at USO after Tesla here. I just wanted to bring up Tesla quickly and take a look at it. But got a little candle out there. Volume did pick up. It was, it seems like you get a lot of expiration stunts in Tesla, and that's probably from Musk tweeting every once in a while to other things going on. It seems like Tesla is one that it's never short of someone trying to game the system out here. Now, for earnings, we have a few stocks. Off almost 4% is Splunk, SPLK, excuse me. And tried to go higher and kind of rolled back over. Volume was going to be about what the August 28th high was, 6.2 million shares. We've done 5.5 now. 66.81, it did go over that by 9 cents and immediately go back and head the other way. So this one was, this got a pretty decent clip out here. But as I said, as these stocks try to break a great deal of their previous highs and volume down, finding a lot of resistance in this market. And this is not the only one. Let's take a quick look at the Gap stores. Again, a lot of these earnings were so low that it was almost impossible for some to miss. Gap actually said some things in its earnings call that made people a little happier. Now it's got a bounce. There's not much volume in that bounce. And my guess is this thing is going to be short right after Christmas again, or after that earnings cycle into Christmas and into spring. I don't think changing on that. Nothing in this chart here is going to change that, especially the price and volume off that earnings. Just a few people probably a little too bearish for conditions right now. Autodesk is also out. ADSK came out with earnings. It's off $2, which is about 3% out here. This one dipped right back in to its gap from last week on the 5th. That gap, it happened on 12 million shares. Now on earnings, it's just back down with 6.5 million shares. So not a whole lot happening out here. Again, probably setting up some kind of high, I suspect, into the new year. So we'll be watching that. Cabela's, people out there pushing a rumor of a buyout or a buy-in. This thing's back up to its previous high. Not a lot of volume comparatively, if the story is true. The previous high on November 5th that it just broke had 3.4 million shares. Today, just 2.2. Like I said, a lot of rumors that may or may not be true out there. MENT, which is Mentor Graphics, absolutely dropped the chalupa out here. You can't say enough about this stock, and it's a bad day out here. Yes, it didn't look good, and of course, this chart shows you just about everything. Now, I'm going to read this just to make sure that I don't get it wrong. But here's my take on it. Provides electronic design automation software and hardware solutions to automate the design, analysis, and testing of electromechanical systems, hardware embedded systems. Company offers Mentor Graphics scalable verification tools, request a platform to verify systems and integrated circuits. Makes a bunch of equipment out here, and I actually own one. Well, I didn't. The company that I work for did own some of this stuff. And I remember at the time, I think it was either this company or whoever bought this company or was involved in it, had a thing called a bed of nails. And basically what you did was set the PCB board down on it, and the little nails would make contact at the bottom of the PC board and check the PC board out to make sure everything was okay. But a lot of that stuff, but it's just, I think it's very hard to see that this company has a big future as Chinese companies continue to do more and more, that and Taiwanese companies. It becomes incredibly tough to see that their market share does not continue to go down. I think also maybe Altera being bought out makes it a little more problematic for these guys to exist as a standalone company. I suspect that this is one company that truly would probably need to be bought out in the not too distant future if it wants to survive. So you may, if you watch that, or if you thought that it's going lower, just be aware that I think it would make sense for them to get bought out by somebody else in the manufacturing space of semiconductors. And I don't know who that would be at the moment, but I would be wary to be short them. But I think they'll have a lot of pressure. Nike, of course, good numbers. What is it? Numbers? They already had numbers, and then the buy share buyback. Was it numbers? I think it was numbers last night. How quickly I forget. Let's look at the headlines. Yeah, it's share buybacks and and the higher dividend. I was pretty sure there wasn't any other earnings out. It had earnings earlier. Anyway, right back up to its high. It's got the volume. It's got a doji out here. 133.52 was the October 19th high. Got to 132.80, so didn't quite break it. But again, you needed some decent volume. It got 7 million shares out here today, and I think that's all you need to say about that. Workday, this certainly was a reversal. And one of my favorite companies out here, this is the old PeopleSoft, folks. See if I got anything else out here. Okay, this is the old PeopleSoft. This thing opened at the lows and moved right back out with some decent volume. And I think the reason why is I think a lot of people still really do not know what this company is. I think it is one of the best companies, not stocks, but one of the best companies. I suspect that one day the stock will catch up with it. And I think the reversal out here today, intraday, tells you something like that. Doesn't mean that I don't think this is going to come back with the general market at the first of the year, but it continues to be somewhat problematic. Someone says Fed is doing surprise meeting Monday. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Who's that someone? Okay. And it's kind of interesting. Now, if you're not familiar with what these people do and who they are, there was a company in the mid-2000s called PeopleSoft, and they built a huge company that was doing incredibly well. And it had a couple of bad quarters, and our friend from Oracle went over there and descended upon them and made an offer to the board that the CEO and the CFO could not get the rest of the board to decline. Oracle ended up eating PeopleSoft, and it was a great and probably underpriced acquisition for Oracle. But those people from PeopleSoft did not go into the night quietly. They decided to make something like PeopleSoft, and again, and much more like Paychex, and put together a cloud-based service for people that wanted to enter their own data but didn't want to worry about having the software. And I really like this model for small businesses, because as you grow, you just tell them you need more account size, and they give you the more account size. Account size shrinks, you do it. Basically, you're working on a terminal from your businesses, and they keep all the data, they keep everything updated, and they make sure that all of the juristic issues, if you're in, let's say, Pinellas County, Florida, they make sure everything like the tax charts and all that are all kept up. So basically, it is kind of your back office. They just keep all the software up to date and in the cloud. And I really like this. Now, the downside I dislike is the chart. And I think that there's going to be an opportunity to buy this. But I think this could be a $200 company in the future once we wring out the excesses of an earnings per share market that is in the average somewhere around 22 last earnings cycle. But this one, the volume did not break the August 24th low, but it did come within 200,000 shares of doing that on September 30th. Enough that this thing came back up, and it's acting pretty good. I would just like the market to pull back and get this thing back around that $66 level. On light volume, I would probably buy it and own it for a few years. It is one of my favorite companies. Yes, all your human resources, payroll, benefits, and compliance needs, sir. Anyway, I like the company. And I like the people, the guys behind it. I think they will do a good job. On the plus side, Intuit, because you got around to it.
Let's put some lipstick on this pig.
Well, not that. I think this is actually not a bad earnings cycle for Intuit. I actually wanted to click on this one.
Everything is awesome.
It is at Intuit. They continue to do well. This thing has filled its gap. Now, it's never retested that gap, but I kind of like it because it got up here and it has not broken the previous high. But I think this is the pattern setting up for a lot of stocks going into the end of the year, where these things will not be able to break out and you'll have some decent downside. In this case, let's go back a little bit farther. I think this $109.80 range is probably a fairly decent trading range. This thing could probably go to 110 or 115 or something on nothing volume going into the end of the year. But again, I think it sets up a lot of these trades out here, that these lows where these things got hammered down for a few days, this case August 25th low at 79.63, could be setting up. So I'll be watching these and some other ones. Again, a lot of these companies continue to just move down their earnings, and the surprise is that the earnings were worse than they forecasted 3 months ago, but better than they got everybody to move down 2 or 3 weeks ago, and kind of a false narrative out here. Was it better than last earnings cycle? No. Did it beat the projections for 3 months ago? No. You get the idea. We'll be back in a minute.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now, you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Had a question earlier, was oil making a bottom? And boy, I tell you what, every time I think it is, it just breaks down another low. But I think we're going to know Monday or Tuesday. I thought maybe Wednesday the numbers would be good enough to shake everybody out, but it doesn't look like it. So I think probably we could go into next Wednesday again, although I don't think we get the numbers on Wednesday. Maybe we do. I'll have to check on that over the weekend if EIA numbers come out. But certainly the other numbers will come out Tuesday, and we'll probably, if the EIA numbers don't come out, people will use those. But we'll have to have some. Now, rig count dropped again today, all except the natural gas, which did not, which is kind of weird. But eventually that rig count will drop far enough that crude prices are supported. I just didn't see anything out there that makes me think that that's happened. And I would take an abundance of caution. In the dim, we had a question, which is somebody saying that maybe the Fed was going to come in with a surprise rate hike somewhere in the day. And I think that's kind of a thing of the past, as people said. But the really big one was a intraday swing in $1998 of about 1,000 points in the Dow from the low to the high. And I think Rubin came out about 1 o'clock in the middle of the day. I had only been full-time trading for about 2 or 3 weeks. And, of course, I thought that that's the way markets always worked. Oh, 1,000-point move in a day? Yeah, that's that's pretty standard stuff. I've only been doing this full time, and here it is. I only remember one other time that it happened, and it had to be 2004, 5, or 6. And just vaguely remember, I'd have to go back to my notes, but I remember that they actually did one of those announcements or said something in the middle of the day on an expiration day, because I think I was long the ES minis and I was looking for 10 points, and it ran 60 or 70 points in a matter of 20 minutes. I kind of vaguely remember even the S&P level. I think it was at like 1180, and it ran to 1240 or something like that day. I bet I could go back and look at the dailies and just pick the day out from the candle, intraday candle out there, because I remember it was like a horrible day on Thursday. The next day was Friday and expiration, and everybody was buying. Everybody was just selling all get out. And then at like 11:30 or something, or noon, somebody came out, and it just 60 points in a heartbeat. But that's the last time I can really remember it. Well, that was the first one in 1998. Tom O'Brien's talking about it, but I was talking about yet another one. Yeah, it was Greenspan and Rubin, but there was another one in that 2004 or 5 or 6. The one in 1998 was because of long-term capital's management's issue, and they had to save the market from those guys. But I think the chances of probably some kind of uncommunicated big deal, pretty low. We saw 5 different Fed presidents speak between yesterday and today again. And other than them saying, we've done everything in the world to tell you that we're raising rates in December, literally one guy said that today. I saw it earlier. That's about it. So they're saying they're going to raise it. And I don't know. You're going to have to I'm going to have to see them actually say it to believe it. But I think we will. Rate hike this time. Anyway, we will see you Monday. Same bat channel, same bat time. Hang on for Tom O'Brien in the next hour over most of TFNN.com. And of course, so when you can, not when you have to.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.